Hello, my name is Moe Rock. I'm an investor primarily in the media and public relations sector. I have invested in various different projects in the music industry, as well as some startups that primarily focus on software in the retail space and CRMs and the sort. In my experience, what I've learned is that my passion is to work with projects that deal with the general public. So that tends to be what I'm usually attracted to. And it tends to be what I understand the most. So things that have to do primarily with B2C or projects that are designed to bring escapism or entertainment to the masses. And those are the things that I have most of my experience in, specifically in media and content creation and in marketing things to the general public at large. I've also worked as a consultant in the political sector, as a communications director for political candidates, and all of that culmination of experience has helped my endeavors as an angel investor because it's given me an understanding of how to deal with the public at large. And when it comes to my philosophy, as far as whether or not I choose to get involved in a project as an investor, the philosophy is very simple. I have to know and use my own gut intuition, which I think is an important part of the process that has a certain market value that isn't necessarily tangible, but nonetheless important. Is this product, is this service, is this project going to change the status quo? Because if it's not going to change the status quo of a market, then I would rather spend my time and my resources on a project that will. I'm not looking for a unicorn. I'm looking for a very practical service, project, or company that's going to change the status quo or that is working towards that endeavor, because that is the only way to be part of something truly special, part of something that is truly worthy of a person's time and resources. And, speaking as far as the stage of a company, to really make an impact and to make a global impact in a market that's moving at a Mach 10 speed, you got to work with a company that's still in its infantile stages. Why? Primarily because the people are still hungry to make a difference, still motivated, still driven. Whereas if you deal with the bureaucracy of a mid or upper level company, first of all, there are a lot of hoops to jump through as an investor when you have to deal with a bureaucratic environment, which corporate America certainly has. And secondly, the people are comfortable. I don't want to work with people that are necessarily comfortable. I want to work with people that are driven, people that are hungry, and people that want to do what? Change the status quo. So the process has a lot of tangible things, but as a background that, as someone whose background is in the entertainment industry, I tend to look at things in a more holistic, creative way. So the human element is very important. The elements of the deal that are not as tangible are very important. And recently, a lot of the work that myself and my partners have done is in the transitional time period that we're in, focusing on how people are consuming media. So whether it is the work that we're doing with newspapers, whether it is taking newspapers that are established and have a brand that is historic and turning them digital, and being part of the future, right? Operating from a place where we envision how people are going to consume media, or whether you take that metaphor for any industry, what are people going to do 5 years, 10 years from now, and do it today? So recently we have been doing a lot of work in the media landscape and in news consumption and in content creation and doing things that we believe will be the future today. An example would be the work we do with Los Angeles Tribune or various other newspapers that are part of the list as far as what myself and my partners have recently gotten involved with. And a action step is to really do a deep dive internally. And there are enough people out there that are angel investors that give, action steps that have to do with things that you might have heard in business school. But what I'd like to also contribute is to take an approach that is more holistic. Finding that je ne sais quoi that a company has often requires an open mind. Finding that one company that is going to change the status quo of an industry often requires a gut instinct, a intuition that you cannot necessarily learn from any, looking at any P&L sheet. So I would advise people to take that action step of being an outside the box thinker. And, there's always going to be someone that is going to discourage that approach in business, but I would say take that action step and follow your own intuition.